tila ayaw po atang ipatawag ni Congressman Rufus Rodriguez, ito pong si Attorney Powa. Ano po kasi mga kababayan, nagkaroon po ng motion kanina dito na kung saan kahit ito pong si Attorney Michael Powa ay dapat din pong ipatawag ano po ng Committee on Justice para matanong din mga kababayan ano po at makapagpaliwanag. Ngayon, tila nag-abogado na naman etong si Congressman Rufus dito po kay na Attorney Powa at dito po kay na Sara Duterte. Ito, pakinggan po natin.
Madam Chair, my fourth motion is also for the production of Subpoena Duces Tecum and Subpoena ad testificandum to the custodian of the Archives Division of the House of Representatives to produce, identify, and authenticate transcripts, video recordings, and related records of prior hearings of the House Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability on the Office of the Vice Presidents and Department of Education's disposition of their confidential funds for 2022 and 2023. I so move, Madam Chair.
There is a pending motion for the issuance of subpoena duces tecum and ad testificandum to the Legislative Library Archives Division, House of Representatives, as well as for the production of transcript and video recording of the House Committee on Good Government and Public Accountability on September 18, 2024, September 25, 2024, October 17, 2024, November 5, 2024, November 25, 2024, as well as the production of the affidavit of USEC Gloria Mercado and the envelopes labeled Hope submitted by Undersecretary Mercado. The motion has been seconded by the Honorable Zamora. Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is hereby granted. The necessary subpoena duces tecum and ad testificandum in as far as the Legislative Library Archives Division of the House of Representatives is hereby directed to be issued by the committee. The Honorable De Lima.
Madam Chair,
Yan.
the fifth and last motion for today's proceedings for the production of subpoena duces tecum and subpoena ad testificandum to be addressed to a representative from the Philippine Statistics Authority to produce, identify, and authenticate certifications from the civil registry system, such as the database, the PSA Civil Registry System database on the certificate of live birth, certificate of marriage, certificate of death, on several names found in the submissions of the Office of the Vice President and Department of Education, particularly certification dated December 8, 2024
Nako.
and December 11, 2020.
Mukhang palalabasin na si Mary Grace Piatos. Mukhang kikilalanin na si Mary Grace Piatos, mga kababayan.
4. This is to show the recipients of OVP's and DepEd's confidential funds had no birth, marriage, or death records, as well as to identify and authenticate the requested certifications. I so move.
There is a motion for issuance of subpoena ad testificandum to the Philippine Statistics Authority, Carlos P. Garcia, to the Philippine Statistics Authority, or to the representative of the Philippine Statistics Authority, and for subpoena duces tecum with respect to the original copies of the certifications pertaining to PSA verification made from PSA Civil Registry System database on the certificate of live birth, marriage, and death on several names found in the submissions of the OVP and DepEd, particularly the following.
May nag-comment, basahin natin, sabi ni Ma'am Cora Serrano, bakit takot si Sara kay Trillanes? Kasi yung sinasabi ni Trillanes, mga kababayan, pag sinabi niyang kakasuhan niya si Sara, kakasuhan niya talaga. Pag sinabi niyang ipapakulong niya si Sara, ipapakulong niya talaga si Sara. Ganun po, mga kababayan, si former Senator Antonio Trillanes. Kung ano yung sinabi niya, ginagawa niya.
Following. Certification dated December 8, 2024 and certification dated December 11, 2024. Do I hear a second? The same has been seconded. Is there any objection? Hearing none, the motion is granted. The committee is
Chair.
directed to issue the necessary subpoena to the representative of the PSA as well as for the production of the documents mentioned therein.
Madam Chair, just a manifestation.
Yan.
The Honorable Marcoleta is recognized.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I recall during the previous hearings, maybe 2 or 3 past hearings ago, I raised the issue of procedural due process when I said that ginanap ng Kongreso ang trabaho na di dapat nila ginagawa dahil ito ay trabaho ng COA. And I was referring to the past hearings made by the Quadcom or if I'm not mistaken, the Committee on Good Governance. And the chair remarked that wala pong kinalaman ang mga past hearings ngayong hearing ng
Panoorin nyo kung paano mapahiya itong si Junior.
impeachment ni BP Sara. Pero ngayon po ay tila ginagamit natin at humihingi tayo ng dokumento mula sa mga hearings na yon. So ako po ay nagugulumihanan. Kala ko po ba walang kinalaman ang mga past hearings ng Quadcom o ng Committee on Good Government, pero tayo po ay nagbabalik tanaw at kukuha ng mga dokumento mula sa archives ng hearing na yon. May I be clarified, Madam Chair?
This impeachment proceeding pertains to the fitness to hold public office of our Vice President Sara Zimmerman C. Duterte. That is the reason why manifestations pertaining to the past inquiry of Quadcom and even of the Committee on Good Government was discouraged by the chairperson. Nevertheless, all the manifestations of the Honorable Marcoleta are duly noted by the Committee on Justice. Now we proceed. We have discussed already all the pending matters before the committee, and the chair wishes to reiterate the previously announced schedules for our subsequent hearings. That
Kita nyo, natahimik si Junior.
Chair,
includes
Madam
April
Chair,
14.
Madam Chair, Madam Chair.
After this announcement, April 14, April 22, and April 29.
Madam Chair.
The Honorable Tino first, and then the Honorable D.S. Konghon.
Madam Chair, may I make an additional motion for the issuance of a subpoena?
I'd like to make another motion for the
Yes.
issuance of subpoena.
I move that the subpoena be issued to Attorney Michael Wesley Poa
Yan.
in his capacity as the former Chief of Staff of the Vice President and DepEd Secretary from 2022 to 2023. In such capacity, he has very material and relevant information on how the confidential funds in the DepEd were used, and in particular, he had a direct role in the preparation of the accomplishment reports.
Kaya hindi talaga siya pipwede. Mga kababayan, itong si Michael Poa, kaya hindi siya pwedeng maging legal team ni Sara Duterte, magtatanggol kay Sara kasi may conflict of interest talaga. At kung makikita nyo, pinapapunta rin o pinapadalo din dito itong si Michael Poa kasi meron po talaga siyang partisipasyon doon sa nangyaring, pagpalagay natin, doon sa pagkawala, sa madalit salita, ng 125 million pesos. Kasi nasa posisyon po siya nung mga panahon na yon. Ano po, so ngayon ituloy pa natin.
Relating to the use of the DepEd's confidential funds, some of which these accomplishment reports have been the subject of the request for subpoena that this committee has approved.
May
So
we
I
hear
so
from
move,
our
Madam Chair.
endorser? Would you like to comment to the motion of the Honorable Tino? He wishes for the issuance of subpoena ad testificandum to Attorney Michael Poa,
Yan.
considering that during that time, he was assuming the position of
Chief of Staff of the DepEd Secretary,
COS
yes,
of DepEd.
Tama.
Undersecretary, with the rank of Undersecretary.
Honorable De Lima?
My motion was pertained only to the custodian of those COA audit records, including liquidation reports, disbursement vouchers, certifications, and related submissions from the custodian, the official custodian, or the Intelligence and Confidential Funds Audit Office of the Commission on Audit. I won't have any strong objection to that request, since it's related to this item.
All right,
The
so
subject matter of the first motion that I put forth, which was approved by the body.
the chair will now act on the motion. The
Madam
committee
Chair.
will now act on the motion. Is that an objection to the motion of the
Definitely.
Honorable Tino?
I object.
Yan.
Are there
Eto na naman yung abogado ni Sara Duterte. Nag-aabogado na naman, mga kababayan. Pakinggan nyo.
documents that the Chief of Staff, Attorney Poa, has signed that he would be a witness to identify as the proponent?
Before we entertain the objection of the Honorable Rodriguez,
Diba?
let me just formalize that there is a motion raised by the Honorable Tino to issue a subpoena ad testificandum to Attorney Michael Poa, considering that he was the Chief of Staff of the Office of the Department of Education during the alleged period of 2022 and 2023. Do I hear a second?
Second.
The same has been seconded by the Honorable D.S. Konghon. Now let's hear the objection of the Honorable Rodriguez.
Madam
Yan.
Chair, I could not find nexus borne by evidence or ultimate facts that would now make the Chief of Staff and lawyer of the Vice President to be subpoenaed. In fact, he has entered this appearance as counsel. So I would like to know whether there are documents which he certified or he signed.
Hindi, kasi questionable na nga mga kababayan yung ano eh. Di ba questionable na nga itong pagiging legal counsel ni Attorney Poa ni Sara Duterte. Kasi nga magkakaroon nga ng conflict of interest. Ngayon, ang nakakapagtaka kasi dito kay Congressman Rufus Rodriguez, bakit hindi nila hayaan na ipatawag itong si Michael Poa? Lalo na at meron po siyang mataas na posisyon. Ano po sa opisina ni Vice President Sara Duterte noong mga panahon na yon.
That would make
At take note, isa si Michael Poa sa pinagkakatiwalaang tao ni Vice President Sara Duterte.
him be able to be invited, to be given subpoena to appear in this committee. Otherwise, then we can, just because they are in the office of the Vice President, we'll be giving subpoena to everybody there in the Vice President's office. So I object, and I would like to know about that. Are there documents that would show that he has been part of these confidential funds?
Yes, Madam Chair.
Diba?
In the third complaint endorsed by the Honorable De Lima, there is a section extensively discussing the role that then Yusek Poa played.
O yun nga din ang pagkakaalam ko, Dorcas eh. Sabi niya dito, di ba Yusik si Poa sa DepEd doon? Siya nagmamahala ng DepEd. Yun ang pagkakaalam ko. Yun ang pagkakaalam ko
in preparing the accomplishment reports pertaining to the use of the confidential funds, where and the complaint cites the transcripts of the hearings of the Committee on Good Governance on this matter, where Yusek Poa admits that he was ordered by the Vice.
Sabi nga dito mga kababayan, ito basahin natin Sabi dito, si Poa ay na Defense Counsel and then OBP spokesperson and then naging DepEd Undersecretary. Prior to his OBP role, he was Undersecretary and the spokesperson for the Department of Education, DepEd mga kababayan, from July 2022 to July 2024. Ano pa siya pa nga yung sumama na Undersecretary mga kababayan kay Sara Duterte. Nung napatalsik namin si Sara, ano po sa, alam niyo na yun, nung nag-rally. Nung siya ay secretary ng DepEd. Ano po, so, isa po si Michael Poa sa sumama kay Sara Duterte. So, may partisipasyon talaga. Ito pong si Michael Poa. Anyway, tuloy pa natin.
President to submit these accomplishment reports. And also cited in the complaint that the several army units denied what was claimed in these accomplishment reports.
So we've heard the justification of the Honorable Tino. We've heard as well the justification and the objection of the Honorable Rodriguez. We are a collegial body. So we shall now proceed to vote on the motion
Before
of the
the
Honorable
voting,
Tino.
Madam Chair, I would like
Ay, tandaan nyo ha, naging undersecretary po ng DepEd, ito pong si Michael Powa. Kaya nga kung tatayo po siya bilang legal team, ni Sara Duterte, magkakaroon po mga kababayan ng conflict of interest yan. Kasi nga, nagkaroon siya ng posisyon sa DepEd noong mga panahon na yon bilang undersecretary. At kung titingnan nyo mga kababayan, imposible naman na wala siyang alam sa nangyaring pagkawala ng 125 million pesos na hinahanap ano po kay Sara Duterte. Anyway, ituloy pa natin.
the proponent to show to us documents, certifications
Di ata niya alam
that
na
had led to the release of
hindi niya ata alam mga kababayan. Di ata alam ni Congressman Rupos na naging undersecretary ng DepEd si Michael Powa.
these confidential funds. Because we are now already on the hearing, precisely.
Diba?
Are there any? Because if there's none, there is no reason to call him and subpoena a lawyer.
Diba? Oh,
Madam
The
Chair,
Honorable
as I
Tino.
said, I cite the complaint itself, the third complaint.
oh.
Allegations lang naman yun, wala nga documentary.
Specifically, starting from
The process of utilization of the alleged confidential funds is not confined to the
Hindi ko maintindihan bakit hinahadlangan ni Congressman Rufus na ipatawag si Michael Powa. Naging undersecretary nga siya ng DepEd.
documents.
okay.
There could be actions that contributed to the utilization of confidential fund, which might be covered by the
Oh.
testimony of the possible witnesses.
Okay. Well, starting from paragraph 269 of the third complaint, page 90, there is a reference to former DepEd spokesperson. He was spokesperson as well as chief of staff, Michael Powa, testifying that he received envelopes directly from Vice President Sara herself. So this has to do with the allegation on bribery. And further, and there are other sections as well pertaining to the use of the confidential funds, Madam Chair. If Congressman Rodriguez would want, we can provide, given enough time, Madam Chair.
Oh, Madam Chair, we are now voting, so we should be able to get it. If there is. The fact that he's chief of staff and counsel will not, implicate him to be able to have that if there is no document. So I would object to that, Madam Chair.
With the indulgence of these two gentlemen as to
Sabi nga dito, Yusik Powa undersign expenses and release of funds, money. He also undersign purchase orders, kaya damay si Attorney Powa diyan. Kaya nga yun nga ang problema ipinagtatanggol pa kasi ni Congressman Rufus. 'Di ba mga kababayan, sinasabi niya it's allegation lamang daw. Wala daw katotohanan, parang ganoon. Pero kung titingnan niyo, naging undersecretary po itong si Michael Powa at isa po yan sa pinagkakatiwalaan ni Sara Duterte. At ang isa pa dito, tama po itong sinasabi ni Dorcus na ito pong si Michael Powa mga kababayan ang undersign, ang nagsasign ng mga expenses na mga gastos at especially spokesperson din po siya ni Vice President Sara Duterte. Di ba ang dami niyang posisyon kung tutuusin? Isa yan sa pinaka-pinagkakatiwalaan ni Sara Duterte kaya imposible na hindi niyan alam yung nangyayaring kalakaran sa loob kung paano nilulusta yung pera ng mga kababayang Pilipino po natin. Anyway, tuloy pa natin.
whether or not there's relevance in the presentation of Attorney Michael Coa will be a question that rests on the judgment of the justice members. We shall now proceed to vote. Those who are in favor of the motion for issuance
Papaya
of
na naman.
subpoena ad testificandum to Attorney Michael Poa, please raise your right hand.
Yan, kita nyo? Diba? Diba? Mapapahiya na naman si Rufus.
You may put down your hands. Those who are not in favor of the motion. Thank you, Honorable Rodriguez.
Diba? Siya na naman.
2, 3. Were you able to count?
May dalawa pa atang naawa. Sinamahan siya.
Those who abstain, please raise your right hand. That concludes the voting. We shall announce the result.
Ah. Ayan.
With 34 votes in the affirmative, 3 votes in the negative, and 0 abstention. The motion is granted. The committee is directed to issue the necessary subpoena ad testificandum to Attorney Michael Poa. So ruled.
Yan no, mga kababayan. Diba? Kung titingnan nyo, talagang dito maliwanag na maliwanag eh. Na nagbago ng tuluyan ng diskarte nitong si Congressman Rufus. Hindi nyo maintindihan kung ano ba talagang inaano nito. Kasi mga kababayan, maliwanag naman na naging undersecretary, ito pong si Michael Poa. Tapos ngayon, parang ang dating, dinidepensahan niya pa na wag umattend o hindi pa attend diyan po sa pagdinig ng Committee on Justice. Alam nyo ba sa ginagawa niyang yan, lumalaki po ang ulo nito pong si Attorney Michael Poa. Eto pakinggan nyo yung katuwiran niya dito mga kababayan. Ginigiit po niya na wala daw pong jurisdiction ang Kamara na magsagawa ng impeachment hearing. Yan po yung sabi mga kababayan nito pong si Michael Poa. Pakinggan nyo yung dahilan kung bakit hindi po siya umattend kanina.
Well, for now, that's really the position of the defense team na unconstitutional yung nangyaring proceedings, di ba? Ngayon, ang tinitingnan natin, ang sinasabi talaga natin dito, just to simplify things, sa Constitution, very clear naman yung nakasulat. No? Number 1, ang initiation ng impeachment proceedings that belongs to the House. That's an exclusive power of the House. We're not contesting that. No? But, pagdating sa trial, that power exclusively belongs to the Senate. Napaka-clear niyan. Kaya ang sinasabi lang namin dito is hindi naman pwede dito sa pag-initiate pa lang ng proceedings nagkakaroon na ng tinatawag na namin na mini-trial. At again, kaklaruhin ko lang yung i-emphasize ko.
Yun yung allegation nila sa Committee on Justice mga kababayan na nagkakaroon daw po ng mini trial. Ano po, ito nga po yung sinasabi ko sa inyo kanina na hindi na nga umattend, hindi na nga valid yung reason, nagawa pang mag-akusa.
Lang yung nasabi na ni Atty. Sheila, hindi po sa amin ang galing yung term na mini trial. Yan po ay galing sa mga statements no ng either Committee on Justice or even other personalities. So hindi po sa amin ang galing yan. That's why we're contesting it. Ngayon, ano ba ang trabaho para sa amin ng Committee on Justice? At least sa aming pananaw. And again, with all due respect to the members of the committee and the committee itself. Ang trabaho po ay to determine, sabi nga nila, kung ito ay iaakyat na sa plenaryo at iaakyat na eventually sa Senado, hindi ba? So ang parati namin sinasabi, kahit sa previous interviews ko, ang gagawin lang naman is to evaluate the complaints and the evidence at hand. No? Kung ano yung mga naka-attach na ebidensya sa complaint. So yung pagpapatawag ng mga witnesses and all those things and asking for documents, that goes well and beyond, di ba? Yung evaluation lang kung ito ay dapat mapunta na sa plenaryo at nang sa ganun ay maiakat na sa Senado.
Hindi, di ba mga kababayan, ito ako matatandaan nyo nung 19 Congress, di ba nagkaroon ng tawag dito? Signature mga kababayan, yung mga kongresista na kung saan umabot pa nga ng 1/3, mahigit. Hindi nga lang 1/3 mahigit pa mga kababayan yung bumoto para ma-impeach po etong si Sara Duterte. Ngayon ang ginawa nila mga kababayan, tumakbo po sila sa Korte Suprema at kung ano-ano mga pinagsasasabi nila na kasi wala daw trial, hindi daw dumaan ng Committee on Justice yung impeachment ni Sara Duterte mga kababayan. Kaya nga itinuturing yon na mali at sablay. Yun yung katuwiran nila. Pero ngayon dumadaan na mga kababayan sa tamang proseso, dumadaan na sa hearing, sa Committee on Justice, iba na naman po ang sinasabi nila. At sinasabi nila na wala daw karapatan na mag-conduct ng hearing, ito pong Committee on Justice. Samantalang nung 19 Congress, maliwanag po yung iginigiit nila na hindi daw dumaan yung proseso sa Committee on Justice bago i-refer sa ganito, sa ganyan. Di po ba? Alam nyo, hindi natin maintindihan yung sinasabi ng kampo ni Vice President Sara Duterte. Hindi natin alam kung ano ba ang dahilan ng mga ito. Kung gusto ba, i-delay para wag na ma-impeach itong si Sara Duterte o wag umattend tapos ang ending tatakbo ulit sa Korte Suprema. Di po ba? Kaya alam nyo kasi ang problema dito, kaya lumalaki ang ulo ng mga ito. Kasi nga, mayroong mga kongresista na pumapabor sa ginagawa ng mga ito. Katulad nung ginagawa ni Congressman Rufus. Kaya nga po hindi natin maintindihan kung bakit nagpapabale-balentong ito pong si Congressman Rufus. Anyway, tuloy pa natin.
Senado. So sa ngayon, are we going to question this? Kasi I think that was your question talaga. Of course, that possibility is always there, hindi ba? But
Sabi nga dito kay Erap nga, walang ganyang naganap, biglang impeachment. Hindi nga, di ba nung 19 Congress, ganun nga yung nangyari eh. Di ba nagkaroon agad ng botohan, tapos biglang na-impeach itong si Sara. Ang ginawa nila, di ba tumakbo sila ng Korte Suprema? Tapos ang nangyari pa nga nun, pinatulog pa ni Chis Escudero yung impeachment sa Senado hanggang sa na-archive. Kung matatandaan nyo yun mga kababayan. Ngayon, nung biglang na-impeach itong si Sara, para po sa kaalaman ng mga kababayan Pilipino po natin, ang sinasabi ng kampo ni Sara Duterte, nasala daw po yung naging proseso ng impeachment ni Sara. Kasi nga, hindi daw po dumaan sa Committee on Justice. Ngayon, dumadaan na sa tamang proseso, sinasabi pa rin nila na parang mali pa rin yung ginagawa ng Kamara. O saan lulugar sa kanila ang Kamara? Di po ba? Anyway, tuloy pa natin.
hindi po na kami magsasabi ng anything categorical. Ito ay dapat pag-usapan hindi lang namin pero pati na ng aming kliyente. At titingnan natin kung anong mangyari. That's why we have been monitoring these proceedings from day one. And then we'll let you know kung meron na kaming desisyon ukol doon.
Doon po sa process na yun, we're not attending doon sa mga invitations ng House of Representatives. And follow-up is, are we surely attending the Senate hearing once it prospers, the case prospers?
Number one, doon sa tanong niyo po, it's not just we're acknowledging, no, that's clearly stated naman in the Constitution na sila talaga ang may exclusive power to initiate impeachment proceedings. Why are we not attending? I think it was clearly stated in our letter. It's because we are objecting. There's a fundamental objection to the proceedings itself because for us this goes well and beyond what is contemplated within initiation of impeachment proceedings. As to the Senate, wala pa tayo doon, no? Pero pag dumating man doon, talaga namang kami naman ready na sagutin. Parati naman natin sinasabi.
Ang gusto nila mangyari mga kababayan dumating ng Senate, ibig sabihin may impeach talaga si Sara Duterte sa pangalawang pagkakataon sa Kamara. Diba? Yung lagi natin sinasabi na kapag hindi nila inigito, kapag hindi sila nagpaliwanag, pinagpatuloy nila yung mga hindi nila pagdalo, maniwala kayo mapapabilis yung paggulong ng impeachment ni Sara hanggang sa ma-impeach po yan sa Kamara. Ngayon siguro yung inaasahan nilang bola yung Senado na baka mapatulad doon sa nangyari sa 19 Congress na hindi didinggin yung impeachment ni Sara Duterte at patutulugin uli. Kaso ang problema, si Tito Sen na po kasi ang Senate President ng Senado. Alam niyo naman si Tito Sen mga kababayan, ano yan, for Constitution po yan. Kung ano yung sinasabi ng saligang batas, yun po yung ginagawa niya. Kapag sinabing forthwith, ano po kay Tito Sen, proceed agad. So ngayon, ang tinitingnan po nila dito, yung mga kaalyado nila sa Senado. Di ba, kung mapapansin po ninyo, yung ibang mga kaalyado nila, katulad din na Bongo, nahaharap po yan mga kababayan sa mga matitinding issue, katulad na lamang po ng International Criminal Court. Kaya ang ending, may impeach po talaga. Umalaki ang posibilidad na ma-impeach po talaga itong si Sara.
Ready nating sagutin ang mga alegasyon laban sa Vice Presidente sa tamang forum. And at sa atin, pagdating sa pagkakaroon ng trial, whether mini trial or full-blown trial, that is not in the House, but that is actually in the Senate. Thank you.
So under these circumstances and considering the public statements made by the chairperson, it appears that the committee intends to conduct a trial. However, with due respect, the Constitution vests the authority and power to conduct trial solely in the Senate. And this is clear and explicit in Section 3, Paragraph 6, Article 11 of the 1987 Constitution, which, as you know, states that it is the Senate that shall have the sole power to try.
Kita nyo, ang gagaling ng abogado ni Sara Duterte magsalita, oh. Pero bakit ayaw umatin dun sa trial ng, o dun sa hearing ng Justice Committee? Di po ba ang gagaling magsalita, oh?
And decide all cases of impeachment. The Constitution is thus clear. It is only the Senate that can conduct trial in all cases of impeachment.
Oh.
And while Section 3, Paragraph 2, Article 11 allows the committee to conduct a hearing for purposes of submitting its report to the House of Representatives within 16 session days from referral, the same does not give the committee any power or jurisdiction to conduct any form of trial, whether mini or full-blown, much less receive and try any evidence. That impeachment rules must be compliant with the Constitution is made clear in Francisco versus House of Representatives, wherein the Supreme Court declared Section 16 and 17 of Rule 5 of the
Hindi, pero ang paniniwala ko mga kababayan yung sa Kamara yung ginagawa nila ngayon, part ng process yon. Hindi pa yun yung mismong trial. Kasi yung trial mga kababayan sa Senate na po yun. Yung ginagawa nila, part po ng process yon. Ano po, anyway, sa akin, wala naman tayo pakialam sa sinasabi na itong abogado na ito dahil nga unang-una, kung talagang sila ay may ipinaglalaban na ganyan, bakit hindi sila umattend sa hearing ng Justice Committee? And then doon nila sabihin yan, yung mga ganyang bagay na yan. Ano po, kasi mahirap naman mga kababayan, babato lang sila ng babato sa pamamagitan ng mga press con po nila. Samantalang pag-aktwal, yung mismong hearing na, pagdinig na sa Committee on Justice, hindi naman mahagilap ang mga miski anino nito pong mga ito. Kaya nga kung talagang may ipinaglalaban silang ganito, na mali yung prosesong ginagawa ngayon ng Committee on Justice, o bakit hindi sila umattend? At doon nila ireklamo yan. Di po ba? Anyway, ituloy pa natin.
rules of impeachment proceedings adopted by the 10-12 Congress.
Kasi pinapalabas po nila dito, nagsasagawa ang Congress ng mini trial. Maliwanag nga na ang trial sa Senate pa. Wala sa Kamara. Ang ginagawa po ng Kamara, process pa lang yun mga kababayan, proseso. Sumusunod lang sa proseso. Di ba dati nga ang reklamo, uulitin ko yung sinabi ko kanina ha, ang reklamo nila dun sa 19th Congress, nagkabutuhan daw agad, samantalang hindi daw po dumadaan sa Committee on Justice. Ngayon, na nasa part na ng process, ng due process mga kababayan at dumadaan na sa Committee on Justice, binabaligtad naman nila ngayon at pinapalabas nila na yung ginagawa ng Committee on Justice, mini trial. Maliwanag nga na yung trial nasa sa Senado, wala po sa Kamara.
Unconstitutional. And in doing so, the Supreme Court aptly reminded, it is basic that all rules must not contravene the Constitution, which is the fundamental law. In light of these, while the invitation for the respondent and counsel to participate in the committee's mini trial is well noted,
Galing magsalita nito mga abogado ni Sara, sayang nga lang hindi siya kayang i-defend sa Congress.
we cannot, however, do so at this point on the ground that the committee and or the House of Representatives, as well as any of its members, lack jurisdiction to conduct any form of trial or exercise any of its incidents. Absent such jurisdiction, any attempt to proceed in the nature of any form of trial or to invoke powers ancillary to it is unconstitutional. Consequently, the respondent puts on record her objection to any requests, motions, or similar efforts aimed at obtaining or fishing for supposed evidence through processes that necessarily presuppose the existence of lawful authority and jurisdiction under the Constitution, which in this case is absent. As timely stated in the appearance and consolidated answer both made ad cautelam, the respondent does not waive any jurisdictional or other objections she has to these proceedings, nor her right to seek the appropriate legal remedies. Nonetheless, she is prepared to meet the charges against her before the proper jurisdiction.
Parang sinasabi dito, sakalang haharap si Sara Duterte kapag ka nasa tamang jurisdiction na. Mga kababayan, o sa madalit salita, kapag ka nasa sa Senado na. Ano po, yun yung gusto nilang palabasin po dito. Hindi a-attend si Sara Duterte sa Kamara, pero a-attend po siya, mga kababayan, kapag ka nasa Senado na yung usapin. So malaki po talaga ang posibilidad na ma-impeach po ito, mga kababayan, sa Kamara. Kasi wala na po itong balak na umattend. Maging yung kanyang legal team, mga kababayan, siguro wala na rin balak na sumipot pa sa ginagawang pagdinig ng Committee on Justice. Yun po yung maliwanag dito. Pero kayo, kung kayong tatanungin, mga kababayan, ano po masasabi ninyo? Hingil po dito sa usapin na ito. Comment below na lamang po ha kung ano po ang comment at opinion po ninyo. Hingil po dyan.